listening to the Cricket Podcast.
I think it was a disgraceful performance, and I think it should never be permitted to happen again.
That is very good.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Cricket Podcast, where we're going to be talking about Game of the Season. Sunrisers Hyderabad, as Dan Weston just texted to me, new phase of the IPL, same Sunrisers Hyderabad. That was rubbish. That was absolute rubbish. They're a terrible team. I hate them. I hope they go bust. I wish they could be relegated out of the IPL. Nobody's going to listen to this because why would they?
They should give all their money to Derby Football Club.
They should.
Derby Football Club.
You're also on our YouTube as Dan Weston, which is going to confuse some people. I'm Jack.
Am I?
That isn't Dan Weston. That is not Dan Weston. Who is that?
It's Maxwell Brown. No, it's Dan Weston, who suddenly, after watching so much cricket, has been taken in by Shane Warne's hair transplant adverts. And look how good they are.
Where do we want to start with this fucking fiasco? Let's start with the messages for the listeners. We're sponsored by Woodstock Cricket. Woodstock Cricket are quality purveyors of cricket bats and other softs. TCP 25 for 25% off.
That rhymed. Well done.
At Woodstock. This year, I hit nearly 400 runs with my Woodstock bat, with a batting average just touching 60. That's up 33 runs more than the year before. If you'd like to be good at cricket too, Woodstock Cricket. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/The Cricket Pod. If you want to have exclusive question asking rights, get a little bit of stuff before everybody else gets it, exclusivity, get yourself a hat, or you just want to show support for the show. It isn't actually free to make this, although
financially or in terms of time.
Yeah. So help us. And we're on Twitter and Instagram at The Cricket Pod. Max, summarise that shit show.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Some things aren't worth summarising, but I'll give it a go. Yeah. So Sunrisers Hyderabad on paper are quite bad and worse than everyone. And then today, one of their actual bowlers was diagnosed with, came down with COVID and had a close.
We forgot to even record this. This is how bad this has gone.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Fine. Doesn't matter.
Keep going.
Yes, Natarajan came down with COVID. Vijay Shankar was a close contact. So that's two people. I mean, they're not gonna win you IPLs, but that's two people who make Sunrisers slightly less bad already not playing. So on paper, the team that was bottom after the first half against the team that was top after the first half looked like a mismatch. On the pitch, the team that was bottom was very obvious, and the team that was top was reasonably easy to discern. And the game proceeded very much in that fashion. The one hope for Sunrisers Hyderabad really in any of these games is that, especially in the absence of Bairstow, that maybe David Warner can return to some form of David Warner from 6 years ago, or Kane Williamson can pull something out the bag. But as it was, Anrich Nortje saw to that. And, they sort of were indebted, weren't they, to some late hitting from Adil Samad and Rashid Khan to actually get into anywhere near a total that might be defendable. And the rest was pretty clear, wasn't it? It wasn't defendable. Shikhar Dhawan continued being the orange cap holder, and Pant came in and smashed it around a bit at the end for a bit of topping to make it a little interesting.
This is what I really fucking hate about this team of jokers, is that they can't even lose well. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing worse in cricket in general than a T20 where a team posts a bit too many for the other team to just go and knock it off in 5 overs, or 10 overs, like happened the other night. But not quite enough that there's actually any jeopardy at all. And so what happens is that you just have to watch a team play reasonably risk-free cricket for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
before you get the result. There's no other sport where something as dumb as that happens and something as drama-free as that happened. And this is what happens with Sunrisers all the time. They always post scores like this when they bat first. And when they chase, one of Warner, Bairstow or Williamson always makes it sort of interesting, but never interesting enough that they're actually going to win. Like, you can't turn the TV off because there's, 1 in 100 chance that this could happen, and you've got to make a podcast
and you could be missing yesterday's fireworks.
But there's no... Well, no, I mean, at least yesterday, it was 185 aside. There were sixes hit all over the place. Somebody defended 4 off the last over. Somebody took a fifer. Even KL Rahul came to the fucking party. Tonight, it was rubbish. That was a rubbish cricket match. And it's one team's fault. It's not Delhi's fault. They just did what they had to do. Like, they did what any rational actor in that scenario would do. They knocked off the runs reasonably risk-free. Shreyas Iyer, 47 or 41. Decent batting in the circumstances. Shikhar Dhawan, 42 off 37. Decent batting in the circumstances. Rishabh Pant, as you said, 35 off 21. It's not like no one's going to remember that for the rest of the time, but it was, decent batting in the circumstances.
I get the impression that it wasn't the easiest pitch to score on, in fairness.
I don't know.
No one
that.
Looked particularly fluid. Shikhar Dhawan said it wasn't great just after the game finished. He said it was a bit sticky.
Well, let's say, they've got 13 balls left, Delhi, 8 wickets in hand. What do you reckon they'd have ended up on? They're on 140 at the moment. If they didn't get 170, they'd be disappointed, wouldn't they? Is that a bad pitch? I don't think that's a bad pitch.
No, I suppose not. Yeah.
I think it's a bad team. It's always this fucking bad team. They're shocking, and they should be relegated. Where do you want to start?
IPL 2.
Yeah, down lower.
Well, why don't we talk about
the Sussex League.
Why don't we talk about the toss? Because you said Sunrisers do this all the time. They come out, post a not that interesting score, and the other team just go and knock it off easily. Oh, do you think Sunrisers will be better off chasing?
I think
because their bowling attack's all right, isn't it? And they've got Rashid Khan, they've got Bhuvi who could do some damage, and they have Natarajan, normally the Yorker man. So perhaps flip it around.
No, I don't think there's any hope for them.
Nothing.
They've got David Warner opening the batting, who used to be good. We've talked at length on this podcast about how he's no longer the force that he used to be. So he's opening the batting. Then they've got Ridhaman Saha, who had a good back half of the last IPL. And that is nearly it for his entire career as an attacking white ball batsman. So, there you have, probably by a distance, the worst opening partnership in the tournament. Kade Williamson's batting 3. He got 18 off 26 today.
He looked terrible today.
He looked pretty crap. He's not actually as bad as 18 off 26, but he's not the most exciting top order batter either. You take Bairstow out of that top 3, and that is, again, by a distance, the worst top 3 in this IPL. It would be bad. It would be bad in any franchise competition, that top 3.
Well, it's top 5, I think.
Well, yeah, we're carrying on. Number 4, we've got Manish Pandey. He managed 17 off 16 today. I actually saw on Twitter somebody suggesting that RCB might pick him up to be their new captain. That would be one of the most bonkers things that could possibly happen.
I was going to say, at least he's cheap for Sunrisers. At least he's not, plugging in a giant wage hole. He
shouldn't go for more than 1 crore next season. He's poor. He's so poor. What does he do? Nothing. That's the answer. Does nothing. Kedar Jadhav. Ross said in our WhatsApp chat, and this is accurate. They should just let a fan play, because at least that would be entertaining. And it's true. What did he do today? He scored 3 off 8 balls. He was slower than Williamson. He was out LBW to Alric Norkia.
And the worst review. Worst review I've ever seen.
Wasted the review. Abdul Samad is all right.
Well done, Abdul.
Well done. We've managed to get, what are we down to? 6 in the order before there's a player who might make it into any other IPL side. Jason Holder, that's a weird decision. Why would you have Jason Holder? Well, I mean, in a minute.
Why would you have Jason Holder when you could have Mitch Marsh?
Well, we need to talk about that in general. They've had 2 opportunities to get to cut players like Mitch Marsh and Jason Holder from their squads and pick up anyone else in the world. And they've been
I can't believe they kept them both.
And they've got Naby on the bench. who's sort of the same. Then we've got Rashid Khan. Fair enough, he's good. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Fair enough, he's good. And, whoever else, Sandeep Sharma it was today, sometimes it's Natarajan. It's like a passable player. They've got a passable bowling attack. I wouldn't say it was good. I mean, if you take, Bhuvi is above average. I think Rashid Khan's good. Natarajan had a good IPL last year, didn't he? But I again, I mean, I don't think, Rashid Khan aside, that they're light years ahead of anyone else. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is just a bit better than some of the other options around. Like, he's not God. They're bad. They're really bad. And then on the bench they've got fucking Nabi, Majib, Mitch Marsh. It's clueless.
Well, I've got a question for you then, Jack. Given, mostly what we've said about SRH is cannot wait for the mega auction, cannot come quick enough. Who do they keep? And you have to keep 3. You can't just say, I'm only keeping Rashid Khan. You have to keep 3.
Well, look, you keep Rashid Khan. Is Bhuvi still young enough to justify? I mean, I think he might be their best next. I'm just looking up how old Bhuvi is.
He's about 30 odd.
31.
30.
Well, maybe you can justify keeping a 31-year-old Bhuvaneshwar Kumar as your next option. I mean, it probably from there, but I think any other team would release him, but I don't think they've got much of a choice. I think they probably have to keep Bhuvi. And then after that, I have no idea. Johnny Bairstow might be their best option.
Yeah,
Abdul
Johnny
Samad.
Bairstow.
I mean, like, normally you want to use at least, they've got to have 3 retentions this year. You want to use at least 2 of them on Indian players. But they've backed themselves into a corner where they can't really do that. I guess Natarajan might be a call. But again, you're not talking about A-listers here, are we? We're talking about...
Yeah, we're not talking about who do we keep. Oh, obviously Bumrah.
Yeah, you're talking
obviously
about
Jadeja.
An ageing Bhuvaneshwar Kumar who has been a little bit inconsistent over the last couple of years or last few years, but has bowled
and injured
well
as well. Quite injured quite a lot.
Has been injured a lot. We're talking about Natarajan, who I don't think he's young, to be honest. Is he? I think
no.
There's not
28?
like, yeah, you're not.
Or is it just the hair that's the chamois hair?
And then you've got Rashid Khan, who, to be fair, is what may be the best bowler in the world. So I think that
I got one thing right.
That one is fine. But the whole of the rest of this fucking squad is shit.
They're a joke. They are. They're terrible.
They might never win. They might not win a game for the rest of this season. I feel sorry for some of them. Like fucking Kane Williamson's got to go out there and pretend like,
and he wants to be there.
Yeah.
David Warner, 0 off 3. Jason Roy next. Should we give him a go? Yeah. Might as well.
Is Jason Roy in their squad?
Yeah, he's there. He was. He got picked up, didn't he? When we were like, they've got someone's pulled out. Who was it? I think it was Mitch Marsh pulled out in the first half.
Okay, right.
And we were like, they've got a great chance to pick up someone who would be really useful for them, like an all-rounder. And they picked up Jason Roy. And we were just like, you've got Bairstow and Warner and Williamson. What are you doing? But maybe Jason Roy would be better. To
be honest, if I was a Sunrisers fan, it's decisions like that wouldn't give me a whole lot of hope that this is ever going to get any better. Like, who knows who they'll play? They'll probably keep Manish Pandey. I would not be at all surprised if they keep Manish Pandey, who may be the least useful player in the IPL
especially in terms of bang for buck.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Or least good value. So
yeah,
I mean he isn't as clueless as some like El Dubé, for instance.
But he is costing them almost
them
all of their money.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about them. I'm just angry that I've had to watch it. This is a tournament that's literally built for parity. Yeah. The point of the tournament is that there's not that much of or the point of the system that they use is that there isn't that much difference between the best team and the worst team. So over like a 3-year mega auction cycle, there's a good chance that everyone will have a chance to make the playoffs. Like it should be quite difficult actually to build a really, really uncompetitive team. It should be probably harder to do what they have done than to be Mumbai Indians and to build a dynasty. Like this low point that they have reached is astonishing because you have to make so many bad decisions in a system that is rigged to help you not do that. You know, like you have to spend a certain amount of your money. Like there's an entire market of world cricketers. You know, if all the other ones go, there's still good players way down the list. If you really wanted to be cheapo, you could still get good players way down the list for overseas. You have to almost intentionally be like, we're going to pick the worst Indian players to end up in this scenario. Like Kedar Jadhav. They did it. They literally went out and they said, what will make us worse? Kedar Jadhav, let's bring him in. And you literally said, like 15 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago when this started, the Vijay Shankar is a useful player for them.
Yeah.
This is the team we're talking about. Anybody who's got any, professional pride should retire from their position of leadership in this side and never be involved in cricket again. Go and do an accountancy course. Do something like that. Probably get paid well enough to go and do it.
I want the Moody Western showdown. I want to see it.
Absolute disgrace. I can't. I mean, yeah. Do you want to talk about Delhi Capitals because they were quite good.
Yeah, let's end it on a lighter note, shall we?
Yeah. They. Where do you want to start with them? They bowled well, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, Nortje was over 150 Ks for a lot of his opening spell, which was pretty fearsome. Yeah.
Did you see what he said after the game or at halfway?
Well, they were like, "What?" He's just like, "Yeah, I just bowl and."
Yeah, I don't try and bowl too fast. It's like, all right then.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
It just comes out at 150 Ks. Yeah, he was good. 4 overs, 12 for 2. Or 2 for 12, depending on which way around you want it. You have to factor in the quality of the opposition a little bit, but it's still, it was men against boys, wasn't it, basically, with Nortje today.
Well, the Warner wicket, just too fast for him, wasn't it? Couldn't handle it.
Yeah, it was.
Couldn't handle the spice.
The man bowled the ball too quick for
the old man.
For the old man, yeah. Kakisa Rabada picked up 3 as well, although he went for 37 runs.
Yeah, I think most of that was Rashid Khan's top edge, wasn't it?
Yeah. So not ideal for him. And then we saw it's the first time I've seen Akshar Patel bowl since the incident, the England incident.
It was more than an incident. I think it was a saga.
The ordeal.
Yeah.
But he was good. They you know what? I yin and yang around Delhi. I'm still not 100% convinced by them, but they do. I think what's good about them is
they're consistent.
They can beat you in different ways, and I think that's a good trait for any sports team to have. Today, they Arik Nortje was too fast, too scary for Sunrisers. Basically, wasn't he? He was a bit too good. Akshar Patel, they didn't have a clear game plan to Akshar Patel. They just sort of stood there.
Another day it'll be Ashwin tying him in nuts, and another day it'll be Rishabh Pant scoring 80 off 30. Yeah,
and Rabada, and then flip it over with the bat. This is maybe one of the first times we've seen Prithvi Shaw fail this year. Only managed to score 11 from his 8 balls, but then Shikhar Dhawan and Shreyas Iyer, who are they're like friendly teachers. I think about that. They're like cool teachers. Shikhar Dhawan.
Shikhar Dhawan, definitely get that vibe from him.
And they.
What does he teach? What subjects?
Oh, that's a really good question, actually, Max. Where would you have him?
I'm thinking like biology or something.
Okay.
I'm getting that kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be more of a humanity.
Right.
I can see him, being quite a good history teacher.
Yeah.
To be honest, or maybe like economics. I think.
Yeah. But yeah, like one of those left-wing economics, social economics.
Yeah. I feel like Shikhar Dhawan, he's the sort of guy who he understands numbers.
Well, he's got most of the numbers, hasn't he? He's got more numbers than everyone else at the moment.
Yeah, he's got a lot of numbers.
He's got a hat for it.
But he can translate those numbers into something that you want to see and watch, and be a part of. with his fluent cover drives. So yeah, Shikhar Dhawan, economics teacher, 42 of 37. It's just like, you know, it was a good piece of economic analysis by him in that situation, wasn't it? He knew how many balls they had.
What's the demand? What can I supply?
Yeah, it wasn't the most exciting in his all time, but it was like, if I get 40 or 50, the other team cannot win here. And that's what he did. Shreyas Iyer did the same thing, and then Rishabh Pant. Yeah, you know, we're kind of waiting for the 80 this season, but it'll probably come, won't it?
Yeah.
How do you think they are? They are looking. Do you think they're a favourite at this point? I mean, that sounds a bit ridiculous, doesn't it? Because they're like top of the table. But in a shootout, say, a knockout, they're going to have to win 2 knockout games to win the IPL. Say the first one of those is, say they'll come up against...
Well, it could be Mumbai or something, couldn't
Actually, you could have 3 games, couldn't you? So the first one's the eliminator against CSK. Would they beat CSK in a one-off?
I think they would, yeah. I think they would do. But this is the thing with Delhi. I feel like across the board they're pretty good. Like they've got most bases covered. I think probably pace is where they excel. But even then, Bada takes wickets, but does often go for quite a few runs. So they've got, like you say, they can beat you in different ways. I think they're consistent, but they do come up against other teams who can do individual things better than them. So they can come unstuck in that sort of one-off battle. That's where I would be concerned for the Delhi Capitals. It's sort of that like juggernaut of pretty good could come against a flash in the pan bit of excellence, which could ultimately decide it in a final or an eliminator. But I think, you know, they've got every chance of finishing in the top 2 the way they're going, which would certainly reduce the jeopardy of that one-off defeat.
I think if they don't make the top 2, then serious
something's gone wrong.
Yeah, something's really gone wrong. And they did
Marcus
fall apart.
Stoinis is injured. That could be it.
You know, they did fall apart a little bit last season after a really good start. They sort of limped their way to the playoffs and then got beaten twice by Mumbai.
Everyone did really though, didn't they?
Apart from
Sunrisers,
curb stomped everyone. And Sunrisers.
But everyone challenging in that bit just decided that they were going to let everyone else win.
Right. Anything else about this match that you would like to talk about, Max? It's quite difficult to make entertainment out of that, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we mentioned the Yadav review. Pants review was pretty pants as well. Williamson absolutely middled it onto his pads and he went up. Enjoyed that. And I think Pants keeping, we can question that rather. He had a bit of a shocker today.
Wicketkeepers Union getting involved. He did drop quite an easy catch off Ashwin. To be fair, but you know, if you're gonna phone a performance in,
that's the one. And what I will say in his defence is big fan of the doing the Dhoni at the end. Did you see that where he had his right glove tucked in the back of his trousers for the last couple of balls?
Did he
throw down the stumps for the bye? Yeah.
Oh yes, I heard the commentator.
Missed the first one, but got the second one.
Yeah,
enjoyed that. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I didn't like: Kevin Peterson's commentary. Sometimes it's worse than other times, and today.
Well, it's all about. It's because he knows better. That's the thing I get. The problem. With Peterson's commentary. It's
I think as well, you can sort of tell to all the people who are around him, because they know that's how he thinks. They're kind of a bit too reverential towards him, and so they act like he does actually know better, and then that makes him worse because he starts saying fucking crazy things.
Yeah,
but you know,
there are worse. There are worse out there.
If anyone has any questions, stick them in the chat now. I would, because we don't have much left to talk about. I don't know if we're going to do a show tomorrow. We might start going to 2 days. So do we want to have a quick chat about what's going to happen? Mumbai Indians v KKR up next.
Yep, sure. Why not? Mumbai Indians KKR. Well, yeah, Mumbai Indians will be. It's quite an important game for them. This, isn't it? I think
it actually genuinely is quite a big match. I didn't expect myself to be saying that, but as the table stands, Mumbai in 4th place, 4 wins, 4 losses. KKR in 6th place, 3 wins, 5 losses. If KKR beat Mumbai, they have the same record, except KKR will have the edge on Mumbai because of that, decent net run rate. Their net run rate improved so much after they dispatched... I can't even remember who it was. the other night. RCB,
King
Kohli,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
RCB.
That they have, if they win their next two matches, they've got a really good chance. On the other hand, though, for KKR, if they slip to 3 and 6, the same as Punjab, with 5 matches left,
that's curtains, isn't it? Surely,
that's pretty difficult to come back from. Then you actually need to win 5 matches in a row, and that.
I can't see them doing that.
Just doesn't happen very often. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, big game for both. Actually, it should be an interesting one.
They say, don't they, Max, that Mumbai are slow starters. With the season split in half, like it is, do you think that there's
starting slow twice?
Do you reckon they'll have 2 slow starts?
If it is a thing, if they start slowly, then yeah, absolutely, because it is. You are basically starting from nothing, aren't you? At the moment, so that you do have to hit the ground running straight away, and whoever does that the best, I think, will probably be the difference maker when it comes to those last couple of playoff spots. And we've seen some very slow starts already, haven't we, with RCB and Mumbai not really quite doing it. So yeah. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Who are you predicting will win? Let's just do that.
I'm backing Mumbai though. I think they'll. I think KKR have got their one win for the next 4 games out of the way.
Cool.
And it was an impressive one. So back to Mumbai Indians.
And then Friday's match, RCB v CSK, the Royal Challengers versus the Super Kings. Who would you predict will win that match?
Got back my boys, and I got back my boys. Yeah, Chennai, especially after what RCB did against absolutely stank the place out.
Yeah, I mean they can't be that bad twice. RCB, they're the yo-yo team, but they yo-yo between matches.
They're a team in flux, Jack. Kohli stepping down. They don't know who the real leaders are.
Yeah.
They're looking. Yeah.
But they're lining up a bid for Manish Pandey, but they don't know whether SRH will retain.
Also, I'm just looking at the table. Their net run rate is horrendous. It's worse than Sunrisers.
They lose in style, is what I'd say about Royal Challengers Bangalore. They don't do a Sunrisers.
Yeah,
when
they
RCB
don't keep us hanging around.
No, 10 overs, mate. We're done. 5:30 UK time. Go and enjoy the evening.
Yeah. Have a sensible time dinner.
Sunrisers, you're going to be podcasting until 8 o'clock, my friend.
Whether you like it or not.
Okay, I think CSK. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go Mumbai CSK.
Yeah.
In those 2 matches, what do we have in the chat? I like this one from Pranjal. Sunrisers Hyderabad have so many big names in their support staff: Moody, Bayliss, Haddon, Laxman, Muralitharan. That's a pretty good team. He played 5-a-side cricket, but they are
do a better job.
But they are so bad. What are they all doing? Can you answer that, Max?
Well, if I could answer that, then I'd probably be in with a shout for a job at Sunrisers, wouldn't I? Maybe they just don't get it. But you'd think they would, wouldn't you? You've got I mean, Bayliss in there, who supposedly masterminded England's one-day transformation. You'd think they would know what's going on, but there's a lack of brains.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did. Do you remember the cryptic tweet that Tom Moody sent to Dan Weston after Dan Weston said they were a disgrace?
Yeah.
And it was like, don't talk about things that you don't understand,
know.
Dan, or something like that. Maybe there is just something going on in the background. Maybe it's impossible to work with Vijay Shankar, and he's just created a toxic atmosphere in the dressing room, or maybe in the nets,
which forces them to pick terrible players.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Would you want to spend 2 months of the year in a bubble with David Warner? I probably wouldn't.
No.
Maybe there are some other factors.
I get annoyed enough having to watch this stupid grin on the screen
that are going on here. Oh, also, wasn't he out of the team I guess Bearso's gone away and he's been promoted back
Yeah,
into
well, that was it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he got replaced as captain by Williamson, and now he's back.
Yeah. And Avik Shit has asked about 4,000 times, so he's lucky we didn't put him on a timeout. Are Rajasthan going to go through? We haven't talked about them on this podcast.
I like Rajasthan. Yeah,
like
I think they might. I think they've got enough about them to put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Do you know what I really like about teams like that? Chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are the agents of chaos.
You have no fucking idea what they're going to do because they have no idea what they're going to do. Like one game to the next. Chris Morris this year has bowled some amazing death overs, hit 5 sixes and no 4s, so he's got like the best 6
That's a good ratio.
But also bowled an over yesterday where he looked like an old man and went for 25. Sanju Samson's done all sorts. He hit that amazing century against Punjab. Sometimes when he's wicket keeping, it looks like he's doing it for the first time. Sometimes when he's batting, it also looks like he's doing it for the first time. When he talks about cricket and fitness and stuff, it's like all of this basic stuff about keeping yourself in shape. He's heard for the first time like 3 weeks ago. It's really
we've even got now to add to the chaos that we now know the reason for Livingston being so good is Ryan Parag's bat.
Yes, yeah. Ryan Parag. If you haven't heard this, Liam Livingstone's basically borrowed Ryan Parag's bat in the first part of the IPL. Used it the whole of the white ball summer, where he's been like blitzing everyone, hitting more sixes than anyone. He hit a six 126 meters. That's so far. He hit it over a stand, over another stand, behind the stand that he hit the first stand. So it's a double stander, and it landed 126 meters away with that bat. He's like Homer. Have you ever seen that episode of The Simpsons where Homer gets the magic bat? He's outside, and lightning strikes a tree, and it knocks a branch off, and then he whittles it into a softball bat, and he keeps.
Yes, I have seen that. Yeah.
Then all of the Major League Baseball players come and turn up, and then they all get injured, apart from Darryl Strawberry, who plays Homer's position, so Homer's on the bench. But then he comes on, gets it. Yeah, magic bat. That's what's going on with Liam Livingstone. That's a great story. I mean, they've lost Stokes. They've gained, maybe the hottest property in the world, basically, because of that. Well, not gained, but they now have a vacancy for maybe the hottest property in the world in Livingston. They've lost Butler. He's going to be pretty hard to replace. But when he was there,
it was pretty good.
It was chaos with Butler, and it was chaos with Evan Lewis yesterday. It's I honestly have no idea whether they'll make the playoffs, but I am really excited about their next 6 matches. They could go. I think the spectrum for them is the whole
second
board.
place.
The whole board. They could win 6 out of 6. They could lose all 6. They'll probably win 3, lose 3, and go out on net run rate, do a KKR. But it's going to be fun watching them play. Who have they got left? They've got the Capitals, Sunrisers, that's a freebie, RCB, CSK, Mumbai, and KKR. So they've got, they've played one of the teams below them. But that's probably going to be pretty good.
I mean, who knows what RCB are going to turn up on that day? So,
yeah. And I think that's probably the end of the cricket podcast for today, isn't it? We're going to go away and record a little bit about England not touring Pakistan. I will put that out as a separate video in the morning. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in cricket, if you're interested in us, subscribe. We're on the road to 10k subs. And the only way we can get there is with your help. So click subscribe. Copy and paste the link to this, put it in all your WhatsApp groups, put it on Twitter, retweet our stuff, go and put it on Cricket Reddit. We never get on there. Why do we not get on Cricket Reddit, Max? Fucking grey cricketer on there 4 times a day. Joke.
They don't like us. We had brush with them in the past. It's Ross's fault, isn't he? He called the moderator an idiot because we got kicked out of the football one. That's what it was.
Reddit, yeah.
Yeah.
We are banned from Reddit, but that's Ross's fault.
Overturn the Reddit ban. Wage your campaign.
Yeah, do it on our behalf. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for listening. Hit like, leave a comment. We will be back. I don't think we're going to do tomorrow because Ross wants to go to the pub. And we've done I think
Only fair.
we've done 6 shows in 6 days or something like that. So we all need a rest. Well, I need a rest.
Yeah, good on you, Jack. Good work.
Yes, I really enjoyed it. I love the IPL. We'll be back pretty shortly. Bye.